Hi everyone, it's Debbie here from Epic Tax and Accounting. Today I'm going to give us some important year-end tax tips for small businesses. So I'm going to start off with one of the most common expenses every business has, and that's automobile expenses. One thing I found out from IRS audits is that the IRS almost always asks for a third-party verification of your mileage. So this might be a great time to stop by and get your tires rotated or get your oil changed. This way, if you do get audited, the IRS has an independent third-party verification of that mileage. If you have a small business that is taxed on your personal return, or a farm, or a rental, you will need to know three different things when it comes to claiming your mileage. First of all, we need to know the total miles that automobile was driven for the entire year. We need to know how much was used as commuting mileage if you drive it to another job. And then lastly, the amount of business mileage. If you do have that automobile financed, you can also take the business portion of your interest that you paid. Now, sometimes you have to actually call the financial institution to get that information. Now, let's say that you failed to keep track of that mileage this year. I suggest looking at your receipts and your invoices to try to reconstruct that. I usually use an Excel spreadsheet to make sure that it's all organized and that I haven't forgotten anything. If you have an S corporation, you will most likely need to be reimbursed through your W-2 for your business to be able to take that expense. If you have a partnership, you need to give me a call so I can go over those options with you. Always take a note of your odometer reading on January 1st. An easy way to do this is to just take a picture of that odometer and then edit that picture to notate which automobile, car, or truck that it is representing. You may also want to consider using a mileage app, such as MileIQ or TripLog, at the beginning of the year. Now, tax tip number 2 for today is one that might cause a lot of anxiety to many business owners. I think you know what I'm talking about, gathering and categorizing those receipts. Now, maybe you've been the model business owner this year and everything is in its proper place and everything is organized and ready to go. But if that's not you, start sorting those receipts by category. This is very helpful to your tax preparer. If you need help doing that, we do have a special going on to help you categorize those receipts. Just give us a call and we'll talk to you about that. But I would also suggest another Excel spreadsheet for doing this. My last business year-end tax tip for today is involving depreciation and assets. I would suggest looking at that depreciation schedule from last year and making a note of any assets that are no longer in service. Notate the date and the reason for removal. If you sold it, we need to know the sales price. Also, if you put any new assets into service this year, we need to know the purchase price plus any taxes and installation costs or shipping costs, the date it was placed in service, and the description of the item. Speaking of new assets, do you need any more tax deductions for this year? Well, we only have a couple of more weeks to place any other items in service. Now, as always, the IRS does have some stipulations around placing too many assets in service in the fourth quarter, but it can be a great tax benefit for you in the current year. If you have any questions on that, please give me a call before you go out and buy anything. Well, that's it for part 1 of our business year-end tax tips. If you need help getting your business ready to file its taxes, please just give me a call at 980-780-EPIC. That's 980-780-3742. I can help you categorize those receipts or make an Excel spreadsheet or even put it in our bookkeeping system for you. Now, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And by the way, we have a brand new service available for you, and that's notary services. Please let us know if there's anything we can do for you, and have a great day. You can also take a portion of your interest that you pay on that loan and ready to go. But if that's not you, I suggest go ahead and, oh, that was going. But if that's not you, you need to go ahead and get those receipts categorized and sorted. Again, an Excel spreadsheet is just the right thing for this sometimes. Oof. But if that's not you, go ahead and start categorizing those receipts by. Now, my last tax tip for today, for part one of this series, is revolving. Well, that's it for part one of our business year-end tax tips. I don't know what to say after that. Always make a note of your odometer reading on January 1st. I usually go out and take a picture and then edit that picture to write on there. Always take a picture of your odometer. Start over. What we do is usually go out and take a picture and then edit that picture to write on it what automobile we are taking a picture of. And we're going to start that over. Also, on January 1st, make sure to notate your mileage. We take a picture of our odometer reading and then edit the picture to notate which automobile, car, or truck that we are. So always make a note of your odometer reading on January 1st.